This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you guys, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Monday, man, Mondays are rough sometimes. They say the road to hell was paved with the best of intentions or good intentions. That was my weekend. I had so much I wanted to accomplish this weekend, and in the end, I got almost nothing done. And then at the same time, I didn't sleep much over the weekend, and here I am on a Monday, and I have a headache, and I'm grumpy, but that's okay, because we're here to talk amongst friends, and because I have a couple rants, so maybe it's a good thing that I'm a little tired and a little grumpy, because I think it might make the rants a little more authentic. So, what is going on in the world of sim racing? I hope everybody out there had a good weekend. There's so much going on, so much racing. Yeah, I don't know if anybody tuned in for the Travis Pastrana thing. I don't have any graphics for that one. I could almost turn that into one of my rants of the day as well. Before I even mention that one, we'll see if you guys watch it or even care. Travis Pastrana, Evel Knievel thing that went on at Caesar's Palace. Let me know if you guys want to know my thoughts on it. Again, I don't have any graphics, and it's not sim racing related, but it's certainly rant worthy from my perspective. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. It's getting a little long, and I darkened it, so I cheated you guys. Oh, I was gonna do something funny. I totally forgot. Never mind. Shoot. Anyway, okay. So Gran Turismo has an update for GT Sport at the end of July. They have just this little video that tells you just absolutely nothing. Franco is right there. Franco's in Chicago. Ooh, am I giving things away? I give it away on the map every day. But there you go. That's all you get to know. That's it. Update coming, end of July. So GT Sport fans can be sitting on the edge of the seats. I think I might have mentioned this on Friday. It is darker. The beard is darker. I totally cheated. But I left gray. It's not like but yeah, anyway, I don't know how I'm going to do with that or not. Next up, F1 eSports. So this was the weekend. We've been all week following what's going on with the physical training or testing they've been doing, the reaction testing that they've been doing, all the various different competitions, interview competitions for them to determine who will be picked in the F1 eSport draft. So chicks dig the gray. So Spatial, you didn't watch, but he did good. Well, he accomplished all of the jumps. Pastrami. Oh, you guys are hysterical. We could turn this show into a 2-hour-long show if we just entertain the jokes that go on throughout it. But my rant, of course, is in regards to this, because I've got a little bit of insider information, and to be not named, but we have a bunch of posts. So before I get to my rant, here is the top 10 overall. This is the pro report, like who has been looking the best in the pro draft. So we see a who's who up here on the list, and you can pretty much guarantee that these guys will probably be drafted. Now, one thing that I've heard is that some teams might only be drafting one driver. We talked the other day about the team that had already picked 2 drivers. And I thought, well, wait, what about this whole pro draft? Well, apparently they only have to pick one driver. So 40 guys went there thinking, hey, I got a 50-50 chance of being in. And in the end, it might not be that many guys that get pulled from that draft. It also means that you might have wasted your time getting into the draft, and maybe you would have been better spent lobbying to these teams directly saying, hey, I want to be part of your team. Anyway, I don't like the shenanigans. And of course, how typical, no offense, I love Formula One, but are they not the king of shenanigans when it comes to things like this? I just don't like that 40 people were given the idea that they could be the one. And in the end, they're not even taking as many people from there, and they're letting a whole backdoor thing go on. And to me, it is not in the true spirit of competition like they presented it to be. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too harsh. In the end, I still love what they're doing. Don't get me wrong. But when I heard that they're not even taking 2 per team from the draft, I'm like, man, those guys are getting screwed. Those guys went all the way to Silverstone. Sure, a trip to Silverstone, that's cool. They got F1 paddock passes. I mean, they got their money's worth out of the experience. But That's not what the draft, I mean, the draft means this is how we're acquiring our teams. Do they not understand the way it works? Anyway, there you go. That's my rant of the day. I do have one more coming, but it won't be nearly as big. But tonight, in 9 hours, 54 minutes, so basically 10 hours from now, is when the live draft is going to happen. And I will be watching it, and that's going to affect tonight's activities. We'll get to tonight's activities later, remind me. Codemaster's also talking about what's been going on there. So, you know, they again, this is a big deal. And despite, don't let my rant discourage you from your feeling on what's going on there. Because this is huge. And some of our heroes are going to get drafted through the draft. And some of our heroes are already being picked behind the scenes. I've heard other shenanigans, too, about that whole whether you were with a team or not with a team. And then what would happen if you did get drafted in your obligation to your previous team. Anyway, the whole thing to me is a nightmare. And then here's where let me summarize my rant. My real rant ends with one thing in concept. They needed to come out front with this. If you're going to have a competition of this magnitude with hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, affiliations with the real teams in Formula One, the Formula One sanctioning body itself, you need to stipulate the rules and put them out there so that everybody is on a fair playing field. This was stacking the deck in a way, and this is the kind of shit that I've been warning everybody about as eSport for sim racing became huge, that the money was going to take over. Instead of it being the heart and soul, the grassroots people who all put in the time, the energy, and the dues, that the money was going to come in and say, nah, forget all of you people. This is how we're going to do it. So, F you to them. Anyway, I'm still tuning in 10 hours. I still can't wait till this competition moves forward. I just would have liked them to have been a little more forthcoming with the rules and the information and what we, the sim racers, really had to do to be inside of it. Ashutosh Gurtkar, thank you for subscribing. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. Also going on simultaneously, this is kind of cool, the same weekend in Stuttgart, we had the eRacing Museum live event between Mercedes and Race Room. And I don't have a lot of details on how it really finalized and played out yet. But, yeah, bullshit walks. But I don't know if paying your dues is really, bullshit. That's the problem. They perceive it as bullshit. But, our very own James Kirk, who we interviewed here on the show, showing off what he was seeing there, getting ready to do the live event, and just exactly how it was all playing out there at the race in Stuttgart. So, anyway, very cool event. We'll try to get more information on who did what and how it all finalized, and maybe we'll get some more information on that tomorrow. iRacing has a cool little video. I'm not going to dwell on it very long, but it's their top 10 highlights from June, so kind of a new video that they're doing. One of the things I do fault iRacing for is not like kind of promoting all the great racing that really does go on, and I think with the various different broadcasting groups that are out there, it's starting to get more and more attention, but I like to see them doing a top 10 highlight video of their own. I think that's kind of cool. We're still a couple months away from Assetto Competizione, can do. Also, iRacing at Coca-Cola at the big race, they had their event. Remember, they have their whole eSport thing going on with the trying to lure children into. So join the Coca-Cola racing family. This is actually at the Coca-Cola booth, but featuring iRacing. If I'm not mistaken, they also had their whole eSport thing going on. Maybe not at that particular event, but iRacing getting out in public eye. That's one of the things we talk about. Why don't they do this more? So great to see iRacing out there showing it off to the fans and maybe making more members, perhaps. Wouldn't that be great? What else? rFactor. So they're doing their first community night, and this is tonight, 20 CEST, where you get to race alongside us, ask a few questions, and hopefully have a lot of fun. So all the people who want to be part of that might want to get in there. So this is at the rFactor 2 Twitter feed. You can check it out for yourself. 20 CSTs when it's going to begin. You can, I don't know what it takes to get in. You might want to go look at the rFactor 2 pages and boards and all that stuff to try to find out. But if you want to watch it, it will be at Twitch TV/rFactor Live. So you can totally watch what they have going on, and maybe there will be some questions answered about the future that goes beyond their dev diaries. Yeah, NASCAR. That was exciting stuff. TT Isle of Man. We have not talked about this one in a while. Apparently, there is a new patch that just came out on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So you can get the full patch notes at their Facebook page. But as of today, there was a significant update to TT Isle of Man. And that's good because it's been kind of quiet out of them. I think the last thing we heard out of them was really the patch or update that included the sidecars. Look at that thing. That thing's badass looking. I have not driven those yet. Questionable van content confirmed. Not that I've ever heard of, but perhaps. You never know. You never know. The Crew 2 also had a update, I do believe. But one thing they're talking about here is, have you tweaked your vehicle handling with the Crew's Pro settings yet? I haven't played it, so I don't know how good or bad the controls are, but apparently they have a resource guide showing you how to get the best controller support, or settings, I should say. I can't say controller support. Settings for handling on the Crew. What else? Oh, this was kind of funny. This is a deal they have going on. So, you can play the Papa John's exclusive mission in the Crew 2 now. Use the promo code CREW2 at Papa John's website to get 40% off regular priced pizza. So, I guess Papa John's has switched from the NFL to Crew 2. That seems a little bit of a downgrade. But, hey, if you want 40% off on a pizza delivered to your home, you can do it with the Crew 2 promo code. No, we have not tried that yet, Spatial. Excuse me. Xbox Enthusiast asks, does the Crew 2 deserve a lot of its criticism? And then they go on to say, probably not. Didn't read it. I don't care much. But I'm not taking anything away from the Crew. I think it's a fine game for what it is. I haven't tried it, but I mean, it's it's made to be what it is. We've heard and seen some of the effects. They've done some updates. I know it's faster, like switching through cars and other various updates that they've done to it. So I have stayed with what they're doing to it, but I have yet to play. But anyway, there's an article there if you're interested. Here's an article talking about how Forza Horizon 4 is going to defend against trolling in online racing mode. So, long time problem in the console world is you get those people that are just completely destructive to the racing environment. And, you know, if you're in a serious group and having good racing and you get one of these clowns in the room, it's always a pain in the ass. Anyway, apparently, I don't know if it's going to prevent bad driving and that kind of wrecking stuff, but trolling, so some form of defense against people coming in and being the nightmare in the online racing portion of Forza Horizon 4. News on NASCAR Heat 3. I don't think I played NASCAR Heat 2. I played NASCAR Heat 1. Maybe time to go back to that series. But September 7th. And they're introducing dirt track racing on the road to the Cup. So we'll have to find out from someone like Billy Strange, who will talk and tell you how broken various dirt models are, coming from experience with an outlaw sprint car history behind him. But anyway, it'd be interesting to see if NASCAR Heat 3, of all the places, is the one that gets the dirt model best. Who knows? I didn't even know. I didn't see. I went to E3. I was kind of on a beeline for the places I needed to be, things I needed to see. I didn't realize NASCAR Heat 3 was actually at E3. So link-cable.com has a write-up. If you want to hear more about, find out the modes and everything on NASCAR Heat 3, you'll find out what they had to show at E3. Thrustmaster. This is not This is not sim racing related. This is flight related. But they are going to be at the Royal International Air Tattoo, which is a big air show apparently. And this is in Fairford, UK. But they'll be showing off all their flight gear. So we've seen various photos. They do make some exceptional flight gear. I'll give them credit where credit is due. You could almost make the argument that their flight gear is superior to their driving gear. And if you go fly that stick and their new rudder pedal, you would probably agree with me on that statement. But if you're in the UK area near Fairford and you're going to go to the air show, you're going to want to look for the Thrustmaster booth there. Dakar 18 We have a date. So September 2018 is the date. That's when. We don't have any pre-order, so no price, no pre-order yet. But it is now posted on Steam, which gives you A, the date, and B, knowing where you're going to be able to pick it up first, probably. Second rant of the day. End of the road. Formula One could be killed off by EU legislation that would make racing cars subject to the rules of the road. In particular, insurance. Well, right now, most race cars are not insured. But they are proposing legislation that says, we don't care if you're a race car and you don't go on the public roads. If it's a car, it's a car, and it needs to follow certain boundaries and rules like insurance. And they're going on to say how difficult it would be to insure race cars, blah, blah. Now, so they say it's a threat to Formula One in this article. And in reality, well, no, because somehow, some way, Formula One has the money to have someone create an insurance policy for the fleet of cars, and they'll be covered. What it really hits is grassroots racing. It really hits carters, local guys in the smaller, cheaper cars, because all of a sudden they're going to need a lot more money and maybe not even the possibility of racing, depending. So this could be a big blow. If you're in the EU, you might want to follow the story. You might want to talk to your politicians. I don't want to get political, but when it steps on our toes, I'll mention it. What else? This is funny, and I saw this and someone sent, Thawman sent it in. Thank you, Thawman. Here's the Forza Horizon 4 E3 trailer being faithfully recreated in Grand Theft Auto 5. So this guy, a known streamer, what's his name? You'd think I would know, but I don't. Raven West R1 has basically did a mashup where he basically made the exact same video using Grand Theft Auto instead of Forza 4. So I thought it was very funny, thought it was very cool, and a job well done by him to do that. Actually, an amazing job, and you can check that out. Look it up on YouTube. Forza Horizon 4 versus GTA 5 side by side. Cool video, though. What else? Danger Zone. You know, if I were going to be a car game company, the last thing I would ever call my game is Danger Zone, because I don't think that name could imply to me anything but flying jets. No, that's a different Raven. Danger Zone, though. Danger Zone. Fly into the Danger Zone. Very Top Gun, right? No, but it's actually a driving game. So we have a first look on the Xbox version of Danger Zone. And this article here is at Eurogamer.net. Give credit where credit is due. Not my work, not my content. But if you want to see yet another racer, crasher, gamey, driver type game, Danger Zone could be your flavor. See some classic behind the car view action, giving it that immediate feel of a game, not a sim. But cool crashes, cool damage looking, could be cool. You can check that out at Eurogamer. Again, credit where credit is due. VVV, Team VVV, they have a article really defining the Onrush patch 2.0. They talked about the faster respawn times that I mentioned, and various different enhances to the game. Oh, actually, I think I mentioned that, talking about the crew. I'm sorry. The crew did not do that. It was Onrush that did that, faster respawns. Forgive me, forgive me. I'm giving you guys false information. Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Yes, Jamie, I put a little dye in the beard. I owned up to that at the beginning of the show. I certainly don't try to hide the truth from you guys ever. So, there you go. Quarter to 3 has a write-up of the best games so far. And I was a little blown away by the list, so I'm only going to mention it really quick. I saw Battletech, and I thought, ooh, is that good? I'm going to have to go get that, because if it's good, that would be a fun game for me to have. Nothing to do with sim racing, obviously. And if you scroll down, though, what do you think sim-wise? I mean, obviously, there's a car game in here. What do you think is the one that got on the top 10 games of the year list? And it is Wreckfest. Can you believe it? I'm not. I'm actually not surprised. I think that is one of the best driving games of the year, hands down. We play it a lot, me and the guys in the patron team. We play this game a lot, even more than you see streamed. And, yeah, well deserved by Bugbear. I'll give him credit for that. PC Gamer. You know, I'm from California, and I get a lot of hard times from friends of mine from all over the world because California seems to be the butt of so many jokes. Some deserved, some undeserved, but I'll tell you, I'm very proud to live in California. And politically speaking, there are a few reasons why, but one of them being that California, as a state, is really fighting that net neutrality BS and saying, hey, whatever, nation, but these are our rules. And apparently the revised bill that they have now gone through is actually even more rules than the original one. So this is good for me. I can tell you that as a online streamer, I am all for this. And so kudos to California. The hippies got one right. This is kind of an interesting idea. It's a customizable dial. Don't even know if it could be used for art. It's really made for the art world, but these are mappable buttons and then a dial that would then change. Like, now it's made for more of an art, like brush stroke in a paint shop program, maybe speed for editing programs. Could this be used as a button box? Could that be volume? You know, press a button, so you press this button here, and now it's a volume control for your spotter. Maybe over there it's ABS. Anyway, I don't know. This could be a cool idea. Cool looking unit. I said unit. And it is the Rev-O-Mate, and you'll find that at Tech Power Up. Make a Sim-branded beard oil that kind of smells like burnt tires or racing gas, maybe. I didn't get any dye on my face, since we're still talking about the beard. I did a very good job. I don't mess around. I left it, and look, I did leave a little bit of gray. I didn't go crazy. What's else? Simpit 4000 is another simulator. These guys are out of Switzerland. So this is at, you want to get the whole story, it's at Sim Race. I'm on the Google Translate here. But a whole other elaborate looking, that looks like a D-box underneath a elaborate sim rig is what that really looks like. But here's another company making a ready-to-go. You know, these ready-to-go rigs are the kind of rigs that you find at trade shows. These ready-to-go rigs are the ones you find corporate events. It's about having something with a little bit of shock and awe. Something that makes it look a little more impressive than just a standard rig. But anyway, Simpit, I thought that was cool eye candy and worth showing off. Speed Maniacs has an article, a write-up, their impressions on Assetto Corsa Simulazione. I can't even talk. But somebody earlier asked about the date. Can't remember the exact date, but we're still a few months away. But if you can't get enough of it, you want to hear about it, we've showed off their videos. We've talked about everything going on. But here is another article at Speed Maniacs if you just want to get more people's thoughts and opinions on what they've tested so far. I think I mentioned this on Friday, but just to be clear on that new McLaren Shadow competition, what we might be calling World's Fastest Gamer 2, perhaps. I don't know. They are going to have a mobile platform version, so it might be hard to beat Michi Hoyer on rFactor. It might be hard to beat Martin Kroenke or Mitchell de Jong on iRacing, but maybe you can be the man of mans on Real Racing 3. So, oh, and Forza Motorsport, perhaps. So, Forza Motorsport on the Xbox One, and even a mobile game, Real Racing 3. So, there might be levels of this for everybody out there. Sean, you say I'm hyped today. You know, it's funny. I have a headache, and I'm really tired, and, wow, I'm glad that it comes off as hyped. Adrenaline kicks in. You know, we're doing our thing. MotoGP eSport Championship has returned and is open for registration. So, if you're looking for a two-wheeled sim to get in on the eSport action, or if you're looking for, this could be very cool, if you're looking for two-wheeled racing eSport action to watch, this could be very cool. So you saw me register for the Shadow McLaren. I don't know if I have what it takes in the motorcycle world. I don't even own MotoGP, but do I need to do it? Do I need to fill out this one and give it a go? Are you guys going to do it? You let me know if you're going to do it. Maybe that'll encourage me to get in on it. Thank you, Dave. Hard to get used to, but not bad. 2 people played it. Cool, cool. Awesome. I accept. Video card prices are dropping. That is the big story right now. So, this makes total sense. You had this video card crisis. You had the kick up in production. You had the decline of the wanting of graphics cards by that group that created the crisis. And now you had too much supply and the next gen cards ready to go. So we are seeing, we are coming up on a really good time to buy some graphics cards, which is good news for me because a 1080, I already have a 1080. I'm going to have to do better than that. I need a 1080 Ti now. But $645 right now, which is pretty inexpensive. Gigabyte warns their investors of graphics card price drops because that's going to affect stock prices. So investors, they're not worried about investors in the video cards. They're worried about them and their stock. But if the price are going to drop, so is the stock. And that's a warning to all the people who are owning. Or it could be coming up on a good time to buy some video card company stock. What else we got? PC Gamer has an article talking about the best graphic card deals this week. So if you're in the market, you want to check out them. They've bit us in the ass before, giving us deals that weren't there. So buyer beware. Don't just click away, but you definitely want to do that. Yeah, I don't know if a bike controller will ever happen. So that does take us to the end of the news, except for a couple of things. I always finish with the Simpit agenda. Number 1, Dave Blair. We all need to applaud Dave Blair. We all need to go to the Simpit Pit Crew, the Simpit Crew channel. Gosh, I haven't changed the name. So far behind. Got to do that right after the show. But Dave Blair has been the backbone of this. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up today is he did a live stream test. Because we want to expand on the patron racing and what we do. We all hang out on Patreon. All the guys on the Patreon team, we hang out talking. We do spontaneous events all the time. And Dave came to me and said, you know, we really need something going with Project Cars. Do you mind if I get it going? And I said, no, not at all. So, tomorrow night at 6 p.m., Tuesday, 6 p.m., we are going to be doing our first patron-only Project Cars 2 event. And Dave Blair is going to be streaming it live. I'm not going to. Dave's going to stream it live on the Simpit Pit Crew channel. So if you want to hear the guys, I mean, if you heard the race over the weekend. So over the weekend, we had our patron team race, and it was not only great racing and a lot of fun, but it was downright hysterical. I mean, I'm trying to call the race, and the guys are clowning each other. They're clowning me. I had Dave Clymer was complaining that last race I gave Billy Strange too much airtime, and that even his mom was complaining. That became a big joke of the day. I actually got a letter from his mom later saying it was a great broadcast. She thoroughly enjoyed it. So anyway, we had a lot of fun doing that, and that's something we do with the patron group. But tomorrow night we'll be running Project Cars 2. Patron guys, and it will be funny because you're going to hear everybody in on the race will be in on the chat. And ever since Wreckfest, there are just no rules anymore. We do these events, and we have rivalries that get pretty heated, and we have a blast. So you're going to want to tune in for that. You might even want to join the patron team just to be a part of those types of events going on. And I will finish today's show with, hey, where'd my map go? Hold on, bear with me. Finish with the Simpit map, and we have 2 new additions. We have Paul Smith up here in Alaska checking in with us, and great to have somebody finally in the way Pacific Northwest. I was looking for something up north, up over there. And in addition to that, Buddy Williard from the UK. So the UK, I can't even see the island anymore. It's just covered in dots. He actually hails from Huntington Beach, so he was local to me, but now living in the UK. 2 new additions to the map. Thank you guys for emailing me. Sean at thesimpit.com. simpit.com if you want to make sure that you're on the map as well, or you have any questions or ideas for the show, or you want to help be a bigger part of the team. I'm always open to anything. Just email me. Let me know. I'm always open-eared for all conversation. That's going to do it for today. I don't know what we have later today. I was going to do a Monday Fun Day with Summer Car because I've been telling people we weren't going to do Monday Wreckfest anymore. But we also have that draft coming up. I might just do a draft viewing party or something. So tonight's going to be a little off. Tomorrow we'll be back with the pit stop for sure. Tomorrow I'm going to probably stream my live practice preparation for the 24-hour of Spa with Avid Chronic Racing. Probably going to stream that tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow evening, we'll have that Project Cars 2 event. And then on top of that, we got the edited pieces that are in the works. A little behind, but I'm starting to catch up on things. Starting to feel real good about the show and the direction and everything we're doing over here. Also, working on the quality, trying to make another upgrade coming. Upgrading the internet, upgrading the streaming quality, everything we can to make the show bigger and better, both live and edited, as you know. Anyway, thank you for being part of the pit crew. Thank you for being here every day to talk about sim racing news. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.